right,
What?
that
How you
works.
been doing, brother?
Good, dude. Just getting busy, starting a new job here pretty soon at a little small box personal training studio.
Oh,
So,
nice. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I had a
So it's
buddy do
been,
that for a little while. Taylor, he actually ended up moving to Georgia with him and his girl, but well, his wife now. I guess they are married. But yeah, man, that's awesome. I know that those smaller atmospheres can kind of be a really big for booming business essentially. So that's awesome.
oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And like, it's just a new, interesting little feel. I've only worked at big commercial gyms thus far, so it'll be
Right.
new.
Hell yeah. Where is it at?
It's there's three locations. There's one in Carmel, Zionsville, and then also the Keystone area.
Nice, nice. Are you gonna
Yeah.
be Keystone or where are you gonna be at?
So I'll be at the Carmel one actually.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm only about 15 minutes away from all of them. So
Hell yeah. Hell
yeah.
yeah. Well, good stuff, man. You and I can go ahead and get started 'cause I'm not sure who's all going to be on. But I can go ahead and start sharing the screen here from the Arnold UK. Did you watch much of the Arnold UK yourself?
Yeah, I got to watch all of the pre-judging.
All the prejudging? Nice.
Yeah.
What did you think of the classic results? We can start there. Mike did make weight and he did pull out the victory.
Yeah.
Let's see if they have. I can just go to Bodybuilding Without Borders. That's probably gonna be better for the actual coverage of the show.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Mike, I think he brought a pretty good package. Everything that I saw online, it really showed that I mean, his conditioning was pretty solid. We were talking in the group chat a little bit. I think that that Wesley was little flat. Didn't seem as like sharp as he did in both Detroit and Ohio.
Hmm.
And I think as he posed, it kind of showed, yeah, he kind of got softer and softer as he kept on posing on. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah. And like Wesley, it definitely wasn't the same kind of look he had in Detroit or the Arnold in Ohio.
mhm.
Um, he still looked good. Like, yeah, but I mean, it is hard to replicate three times in a row that kind of peak. So I'm not
I could.
surprised, but
Right, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, whenever we're talking about we understand that these guys are pros, but when we're talking about creating a perfect peak three times, I mean, that's pretty difficult to continue on
mhm.
to do. Versus Mike, I mean, this is his first show of the season. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because he couldn't make weight.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, couldn't make weight, and he didn't know what Eastern Standard Time was whenever he was just in it in Ohio, whatever you want to call that. But this was his debut of the season, and I mean he's coming in fresh, and Wesley's now three shows deep. It really showed.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but Mike, I mean, nothing to pull away from his victory. I mean, he did provide a really good package.
Hmm.
And is this comparison's a from Detroit for Wesley versus the UK package or no, Olympia runner-up package. And if this was the case, I don't know. I think you might have a better shot of arguing for Wesley.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, that just wasn't the case, obviously, here at the
No.
UK. This was their final call out, a classic prejudging, and you could just tell that Wesley just wasn't nearly as etched out.
Mm-mm.
At this point, he's already done first impressions. They've already done the individuals, and I feel like that Mike just he kind of came in slamming in the door.
Yeah.
I will say though, with this package particularly, Mike doesn't seem to have, which I hate how he's doing the back double, how he
Yeah,
pokes
he
it.
like pushes out his glutes and he
I
almost does
can't
an
stand it.
RDL.
Yeah, he really does an RDL mid pose, man, and it's just like, what are we doing here? But I will say, Mike, I think that his legs are slightly downsized at this weight cap,
Hmm.
and it's gonna be interesting how that plays out at the Olympia. I assume he's shutting it down until the Olympia, um,
Hmm.
but I wonder if he's gonna fine tune things. He has plenty of time to kind of get the weight down pat. And oddly enough, if I were him, I would almost push down even harder these next 2 weeks and then go into an off season and really just like push down the weight to where you can maybe replicate the Olympia runner up to Chris Bumstead with the leg size. Because he's going to need to really hone in on a package that's going to be competitive against guys like Ramon, a fresh Wesley,
Hmm.
one punch Naz, and Niall Darwin that's going to be coming in looking nutty.
Hmm.
It's just I don't think this package would be enough to knock off any of them, just leg dominance wise.
Yeah, and like the thing is, it does suck because at this point Mike has kind of reached what's probably gonna be his peak physique in classic,
Yep.
because he just can't seem to. I mean, if you already are missing weight, that's already a troublesome sign because these other dudes are gonna be able to grow a little bit more. So
Hmm.
it's just only gonna become more competitive as we keep going.
Right. And as these divisions were like kind of set forth with Classic and 212, like these divisions were like made for stepping stones into open, you know.
Hmm.
These are guys that want to compete and want to be competitive and want to show their best physique, but just truly aren't big enough for open yet, you know. I feel like that's kind of what these divisions are made to be whenever we have guys pushing weight caps like Mike, like really Urs, you know, Urs was put sucking down to that weight cap and now look at him. He's flourishing in
Hmm.
open.
Absolutely.
So I think that we could be looking at Mike going into that 212 division and hopefully the near future.
Yeah, yeah, and I think he could be pretty competitive. He obviously
Oh
needs to
yeah,
take some time and gain a lot of mass, but I do think he'd be pretty competitive. He has great structure, super good flow on his physique. Um, but
most
yeah.
definitely. I really think that Mike for me, I mean, I feel like especially after this whole weight controversy for him, I feel like at this year was kind of I think it was great that he made weight, he made the comeback that he did. But I think that this was kind of the tall tale sign of like, okay, like if you're gonna make one last run in classic, great, but I think you need to start setting your sights on that 212 division and on
Hmm.
the open division because at this point, man, like weight shouldn't be this difficult for you to make and to bring an improved package and at the like I don't think that this is his best package by any means and I don't
Hmm.
think that it's going to get much better than his all-time best at the Olympia 24 against Chris.
No. And like bodybuilding isn't a combat sport. You shouldn't have to be sucking down to be able to actually compete in the division. Eventually, he's going to have to make the jump just because his physique is eventually going to show that sucking down like that is just not looking good anymore. Because
Yeah.
eventually it won't look good anymore.
No, exactly. And I mean eventually his leg size is going to it's going to hurt him eventually in my opinion.
Hmm.
I think it already has in the sense of
Yeah.
like we've seen what him kind of sneaking by that weight cap for whatever it was against Chris Bump 724. Like that was his prime physique and he was 212 pounds at that point. And I
Hmm.
honestly I remember taking photos of like that front double of his or that front lat spread of the Olympia and comparing them to the reigning 212 champion in Keon, and I was like, it's not far off, you know.
Mm.
And I remember that really just thinking to myself, like that could really be something that he'd do very well in. Oh,
Absolutely.
Matt's actually joining in right now, so
Heck.
let me see if I mute that one. I may have. Let me if I kick this one here because Matt's in that one. Move. There we go. All right. Now if Matt unmutes, can you hear us?
Yeah,
There we go.
Perfect. There we go.
How you doing, brother?
good, good.
Good.
Sorry for my tardiness.
Oh, dude, you're good. I appreciate you making it here. I wasn't sure if you were gonna make it yet or not. I almost texted you today, but I was like, I don't know. We'll see if Matt makes it or not.
No,
Um,
I fully meant to be here on time. That's how life goes, unfortunately for
Yeah.
me.
Hey, you know what? We all have life come ups here. So we were actually just touching on the UK. We were saying how Wesley got in for weight, got the win. I think it was well deserved with how Wesley came in. I think Wesley was kind of getting softer as he continued to pose, and he just wasn't as sharp as he was in the UK or at the Ohio and Detroit. Did you happen to review any of the classic, Matt? Do you have any opinions on Mike pulling that victory out?
Yeah, I saw some clips of. I didn't get to watch it live, but I did see individuals, and then I saw some comparison clips, and I mean it was pretty spot. I don't like how Mike's posing his glutes. I won't lie,
We
We were
touched on
just
that
talking
too.
that's
about that.
that's my only knock. And otherwise, like I have no problem with Mike winning. I thought he looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I think
I
so
thought he
too.
looked maybe a little thin in the legs making the weight, but
Yep.
he's so peeled and like he's still a really good physique. So
Yeah.
I I'm all good with Mike winning. And I think Wesley taking second was solid too. Like
Yep. I think that
a solid lineup.
whether you were here or not, it's almost like you were listening in. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
almost exactly what me and Aiden were saying.
Word for word.
I
And
think
we
a lot of people people were not a big fan of that way he was posing.
It's just I don't understand what the it's kind of wellness like and how you're
Yeah.
pushing out the glutes. And I mean, all respect to the to women's divisions, but that's not where like classic. We want to see these striated glutes if we're gonna be seeing the glutes, you know.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It was a really interesting way to pose, but
There is, I mean, there's precedence, I should say, for people posing like that prior. And I
mhm.
can't remember his name, but there was this open bodybuilder, and he was only like a tier two, tier three guy, but he always came in raised sharp, and his adductors were so freaking dense that when he posed like that, you could see them from the rear as well as still having like the peeled glutes.
Yeah.
So like it was horribly impressive, and like people can pull that off. I not many though, and I think Mike would look better if he posed it a little bit more traditionally in that sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree, and it was definitely an odd way of posing, but and this is the final two comparison here, but and I definitely agree with the leg down size. I don't necessarily under I here's my kind of opinion on it. And I was just telling Aiden this, like his best look and his peak in classic was the 24 Olympia behind Chris, where he snuck into that weight cap or whatever it was, and that pretty sure was 212 pounds. So I remember walking away from that Olympia personally thinking like, man, if you compare these side by sides of Mike to Keon Pearson and 212, it's honestly like it's a lot closer than people would think, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like where I was thinking in my head, like, all right, well, I think it's time for Mike to maybe consider jumping up because he's already a top three or top four 212 competitor with his current classic physique.
You
But
think so?
obviously,
It's that.
I think that the two, whenever we're talking about the 24 Olympia look, which here actually
Okay.
they actually posted this here. So
I don't,
here
and I'm not doubting it, but like,
I personally think so because if you look at this look here, this was the Olympia runner-up that Mike produced. His legs are bigger. He has that X frame, and I remember I forget if it was Bodybuilding Without Borders, if it was Who is Best Bodybuilder, but at the time of like the hype of the Olympia coming to a close and everything, they did a side by side of Mike and Keon, and it was kind of one of those things in my head where I was like, man, like this isn't super far off. Like it's just a matter of a little bit more density, and then I think that Mike could really be a top 212 guy. And that was against the
well, I mean,
212 champion. So like imagine him going against a Courage or I think I forget how to pronounce his last name, but Courage. Or imagine him going against that Sean Clarita or that new guy that's coming in. I think that he'd fare fairly well, in my opinion.
yeah, I don't think you're wrong on that. I guess I didn't when you really start breaking down into the 212 class, like who you have besides like the top, like you said, Clarita, and that one, I don't know I don't know his name, but that new guy you mentioned too, I know
Yeah, I think
exactly
it's
what.
like Keat or Kiat or I don't know, starts with an N, something like
Yeah,
that. But he's really impressive. But
yeah,
um,
I think you're right on that
I
one. I think he would compare favorably well.
I think he would, and I think that he's like this look particularly. And this was whenever he was at least 212 pounds and getting
Hmm.
away kind of with that weight cap for what it was. Um, and that's kind of where like whenever we see that version, like at his all-time best comparative to this, like the legs are slightly downsized. He just doesn't seem to have that crazy pop, and it's because he's down 6 pounds. You know, he's down 6 pounds from where he would be if he was in the other weight class. So I think if you're really going to maximize his physique, I think you kind of have to look at yourself and be like, man, like, yes, I was able to pull off an Arnold UK win here, and it was my first show of the season. But man, I was supposed to go to the Ohio, didn't make weight. Supposed to go to Detroit, didn't know the time or whatever. And at the end of the day, like it was already a struggle for you to make weight for the Olympia last year. So like you have to kind of look at the pattern here and just be like, hey, like if I'm not making weight, then I just need to level up my physique and go to the 212 or go to. I mean, I don't know how he'd fare open wise. I mean, that would be he'd have put on a good amount of size to do that. But for 212, I think it wouldn't take much, you know.
Well, he may have no desire to be any bigger because I mean he's in his 30s, I do believe, and
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
I believe so, or at least he's close to it.
Yeah, close
I
to
would
it.
want to double check on that, but not everyone has the desire to want to. And if he's dominating like he is, he might not want to get any larger because it's already uncomfortable enough once you get to a certain point, right?
Yeah, right.
But if, like you
I
said,
can
if he
understand
wants
that.
to continue to improve his physique, that's a different story.
Right. And I think that that's really got to be the question asked, that whether he really wants to stay in classic, and if so, like, all right, well, we're professionals, let's make weight, or if he wants to try to improve the physique. I think that 212 is kind of the way to go if that's the case. But
230.
Yeah.
nevertheless, though, I mean, he made weight. We have to give him credit for where it's due. I mean, this was a really peeled and crazy package for him, and I think he got a pretty good advantage on Wesley, who was seemingly just a little off peak wise because he just got done doing two peaks for the Ohio and Detroit. So congratulations to Mike. I think it was a great battle between him and Wesley. I think we all kind of saw that one coming between them two. But Mike kind of gets himself back into the conversation of fighting for that Olympia title with that
Hmm.
win. So that was the classic division. And then open, I mean, we saw some pretty crazy stuff. I don't know if you guys heard about the whole luggage situation with Brandon
Yeah.
Kirk,
Yeah.
but that is pretty incredible for him to show up and just absolutely bring an incredible package. Whenever you have that amount of stress of like you're missing your food, you're missing your posing trunks, you're missing all your like personal luggage and items, and to be coming in and just like being like, all right, well, I mean, I'm gonna make the best out of it. I'm gonna do what I can, and to come up second here and bring this type of package to prejudging is it's pretty incredible, you know. Um, and at that his age too is like what's probably one of the more remarkable things too. His age, like he does not look his age of 45
No.
years old.
Well, based on like the response we saw from him and everything, like in the interview, like him being former Mr. Olympia and 44, 45 years old, I bet he was just like, all right, well, we'll figure it out, I guess. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
rolled right off his shoulders. Other because if he was stressing about it, like you said, it sure shit didn't look like it on stage.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
he did not look stressed. And I
Mm-mm.
mean, honestly, I guess if you're having all that go down, you come on stage with that, and then they put you in the first call out, you're probably just giddy. You know what I mean? You're probably just like, all right, man. Like it's got to feel nice. It's got to feel pretty good. And he brought a
They
great
put him over
package.
Martin.
Yeah, they gave him the opportunity to go over Martin, and I think Martin was obviously a bit off, like way off. Honestly, like it wasn't that was one of his worst packages that he's brought to the stage. But he's got a lot going on, and at this point, I think it's just best Martin just takes some time for himself, like
Hmm.
kind of reflects, goes back to the lab to grow, and then just come back for the Olympia because you're already qualified. You know what I mean? Like just go lay low, do the work, and come back and really wow us all. You know.
Yep.
All it takes is one good showing. It's funny what we all forget as media, you know, and as
Hmm.
fans.
Yeah.
Well, I think that.
Literally.
No, go ahead, Aiden. My bad.
Okay. Yeah. No. Literally one good showing, and everybody will forget pretty much every circumstance until he does bad again.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh, this was the classic Martin, you know,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna
Yeah.
want to talk.
Yeah.
I think that was. I think this was a little bit of a strategical move. Still going to do the UK because I think he
Yeah.
was hoping. I think he was hoping for like a really good showing, and people probably
Yeah,
would have been like, people would have been less. I guess they wouldn't remember, like you guys said. They'd be a little
yeah,
bit more. All right, that's time to move on. If he came out and he looked phenomenal, I
right.
wish he did. It's unfortunate he didn't look as good as he could have.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and especially because if you imagine if he would have came to this show like the Prague prep and
Yeah.
looked like how he did in Prague, I think you would have had a lot of people been like, "Oh, like Martin is just an absolute beast, like great show." Even if he would have placed second behind Andrew, which realistically he probably would have because Andrew looked insane.
Yeah.
Um, but even with like a Prague peak, I think that you would have had people just kind of go right back to being on his hype train, you know, and yeah, like I said, it's unfortunate that he brought the package he did, but I think it's clearly like everything's kind of getting to him a little bit. Props to him for fulfilling the commitment of the UK because he if a lot of people probably have been like, man, like after the Arnold fiasco that I had, like fuck it, I'm not coming back. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna go take some time. So more power to him for going and doing the UK. I don't know if he did meet and greets or anything. I haven't really heard anything about that, but regardless, he showed up, he competed, he still placed fourth, and I mean Arnold Classic fourth place, like that's still something you take home with you, you know. So pretty solid show in there.
He's not walking away empty-handed, right? And
Yeah,
for being off too, you still get fourth at the Arnold UK up next to some really solid guys. So
right. And one
Shit.
guy I was incredibly impressed by was Patrick Moore. Um, crazy package from him, and I don't know if
Hmm.
they have any solos of him up here, but he looks incredible, man. Like
Yeah,
he really put it together. Do they
he
really not
showed
have
up.
anything covering him?
He's been trying to nail it for a while now because like he's got a good shape to him. He's got the good X frame,
Yeah,
uh, and I feel like well, I should say it looks as if he's at least starting to put something pretty solid together.
yeah. I don't know. They don't have any solo videos of him, but I will say like his conditioning's coming along much better. I think that his leg size being up now like really makes that X frame crazy for him.
It does.
And I really enjoy seeing him kind of fulfill that whole like I'm the future type of mantra. Like if he continues making strides like this, and excuse me, as now he's seemingly getting it together, I think that really will go a long way for him. And I really like his side tricep. Whenever we get to it here in a second, I mean his side tricep was crazy.
It's nasty.
Yeah, it really is.
His waist is almost so small, and his limbs are
Look at
getting
that.
like so big that like it looks a little weird. It does look a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like on the
Yeah.
front leg.
Yeah, I mean, even that back double, if you look at the back double, his lace looked crazy small. When just
Hmm.
flaring lats and shoulders. It's just absurd, man. Whenever he turns for the side tricep, I'm like kind of in awe at it. Like I feel like that's like what everyone would like their side tricep to look like. Just a
Absolutely.
crazy big arm and great legs, small waist, kind of cartoonish, man. Like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, more power to them. That was a great showing there for all the guys in the open. I think that Andrew slammed the door and brought another great package. And he's
What'd
a
you think?
million-dollar man in the month of March. He won $1 million winning the Ohio and the UK. So
He became a whole lot richer in 1 month.
yeah, yeah, for sure. What were you saying, Matt?
How does look here versus at Ohio?
Off first glimpse, I think that they're fairly similar. I think that he might be a little bit tighter here at this prejudging video. He kind of looks like how he did at the finals of Ohio in prejudging. So I'm curious. His posing seemingly got worse, but his conditioning it does look like it's improved, and that's why I'm kind of like I was very hard on Andrew going into the Ohio and even after the Ohio, especially seeing how on Nick was. I was really harsh on his conditioning, but it seems like they've at least gotten to the point where he comes in on good conditioning, maybe not crazy great, maybe not like perfect and like the other guys, but he comes in good conditioning. And him in good conditioning with his proportions and size and aesthetics is enough to win. You know, they've
Yeah,
made that very clear. And I think that if he just continues to make improvements and bring in this conditioning at the Olympia, it's going to be hard to see Andrew not winning the Olympia and not beating Derek. Like he's going to be on the track to do so.
I mean, I'd say his physique is better than Derek's. I don't
yeah.
like. But I'm
I
not a
agree.
personally. I'm not a huge fan of how Derek's physique looks. I can respect
Hmm.
how amazing it is,
Yeah,
but
right.
Mr. Limp, yeah, I think he looks. I think he looks slightly better than the Ohio. It's so interesting though. Like when you have really great bodybuilders like Hottie and Nick, and even Martin, if Martin was on,
Hmm.
standing next to him versus the lineup that you have, just like it's not nearly as deep. He makes that gap between him and second place just so much larger.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Without those two guys, I guess there to beef it up a little bit.
right. No, I totally agree. And I think that not having like I mean realistically Andrew didn't have any crazy competition going into this outside like you were saying with Martin and I mean you could say Brandon too. But that just makes him look that much more impressive. You know what I mean? Like just him being in a lineup full of like realistically, like Patrick Moore's kind of a second tier guy. I think that we would deem Brandon Curry kind of like on the fringe, you know, like he could still be a first call out at the Olympia guy, but he's for sure a second, like middle pack second guy. So
Sure.
being like that next level guy that Andrew is, it kind of just makes his physique look that much even more freakier than the guys he's going against here, like the UK. So I mean, that is his posing's gotten better in the back. I mean, his conditioning's definitely on there. Like he's looking well. And I still argue, and I will probably die on this hill, even if he wins the Mr. O this year, I'll die on this hill that I think that Nick still deserved the Ohio just because of this crazy conditioning and size, but I'm not as upset as I was like where I was like adamant like it's Nick all day. Like Andrew he's a freak, man. Like he's truly like he's potentially the best bodybuilder in the world, and I think that that's not really a not an understatement anymore at this point. I think it's more of becoming a fact.
Hmm.
Crazy
I mean,
look for him.
I agree with you there. Like I still think the way bodybuilding has been judged, Nick should have won Ohio. But I'm in no way like gonna lose any sleep over the fact that Andrew won because, like you said, he does look just dumb.
Yeah, like crazy. He looks crazy, man. I don't know if they have any videos. I was kind of curious if they had any individuals of Patrick. They have one of Blessing, which we can touch on kind of the lower half of the lineup here in a minute. We talked about Martin. We can circle back to Brandon though, because I am kind of curious what the high quality video looked like for him. I mean, 45 years old and looking like this is insane.
Just freaky.
It is.
Yeah,
Look at this. He's really conditioned too. Like in the leg size is really good. Like
Hmm.
Brandon is a beast, man.
I bet you he'll be like Dexter when he retires. Like he'll just look totally normal and healthy, no problem,
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
guaranteed.
Without a doubt.
Like
Yeah.
even in the face, he doesn't look that old, bro.
No.
No. No, not at all. You know what they say, black don't crack is what they say.
I have heard this.
Let's see. We got Blessing here. We can kind of go down the lineup a little bit. Blessing did a posing routine to some Christian music. Oh, that's pretty awesome being a Christian myself. But Blessing, I think that we are all kind of expecting a bit sharper of a package from him, especially after the social media kind of promise he made to bring the waist like tighter. Um, and I think that Blessing brought a good package. Nothing. I don't think it's much different than the Detroit one though, in my
No.
opinion. Um, I think he just needs a bit more. He just needs to be a bit more tighter, like all around conditioning wise, and I think that'll go a long way for him.
Hmm.
Because I mean, whenever I saw these updates post Detroit, like where he essentially got right back to like the waist being tight, I was like, okay, like he's gonna come in crazy condition for the Ohio or for the UK, and unfortunately, it just didn't play out on stage like that. Still a good package though. I'll give
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Like it's a good package. It's just that waste.
Yeah, and I
I
think we
think
all kind of. Or go ahead, Matt.
no, I was just gonna say there's so many variables when you're flying and traveling that much for a
Hmm.
show too.
Yeah,
Like, because I don't think Blessing has been to or competed overseas yet before. At least if he has, it hasn't been for a long time. And he could have been like, there's just could be holding water, could be poor peak. Maybe he didn't improve as well as he thought he did, or maybe he was just stressed. Like,
yeah,
there's so many varying factors as to why he could
Hmm.
have been. Like,
right.
this video doesn't look too bad, but like you said, it was a little disappointing in terms of um, what we were expecting him to bring.
From the fan perspective, for sure, a little disappointing. And you do have a great point, though. I mean, I think, is this his first Arnold Classic in general as well? So, like, this is a pretty big show for him, you know?
So,
I'm pretty sure it is. If this is his first Arnold Classic, like, that's a pretty big show for you to be, making a promise to bring your waist back tighter, bring in better condition, but also make your debut at a show like this is. It's a lot to kind of take in. So maybe the stress got to him a little bit. Maybe it's peaking. Maybe like you're saying, flying across to another continent is just it's a lot. You know, a lot more than any of us can maybe comprehend
Hmm.
as fans and amateur competitors here. But nevertheless, I mean, to still show up at the same conditioning as he did Detroit, I think that it was a good debut, but I definitely would like to see him maybe run the gauntlet this year and just get tighter each show, really control that waist. And I think that he could really lock in an Olympia ticket if he does those things.
Hmm.
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, Blessing is definitely a top guy. Is this some high quality photo? This is from the news
You know how
online.
old Blessing is?
I
Like
think
mid
he's
30s, maybe?
oh I thought he was well, I don't know. Last time I checked, I thought he was like 28, 29, but he might be a little bit older. Let me check. I'm about to look it up. Because I'm curious as well, because I really am a big fan of him.
It's hard to tell with some of these guys, bro.
It
Hmm.
really is.
34.
34, really?
He was born in 91. At least that's what Google says.
Gotcha. Yeah, my Google wasn't loading. Um, but yeah, 34. I didn't realize he was 34. That's still he has plenty of time though to continue to improve and make a lot of hopefully make a lot of improvements. I think that my vision for Blessing truly was like potentially a first call out Olympia type of guy. I could see him landing in the top 10 if he like really hits his potential. But he's got to lock in a lot of different fashions, and he might like I mean with everything he's got going on between because I know he's pretty big like influencer overall too. So like with everything in that aspect of things, he might not be as crazy driven as some of these other competitors. There is the Arnold Classic Open guys in the Classic division as well. Sam Sulek got a better placing as well in seventh place. I know that
Still
this
didn't get
guy
a
was. Yeah, I know. Still didn't get a haircut. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if you guys are like much into animes, but I don't know if he thinks that he's like Baki or something like
Nah.
that. But I didn't know if anyone would appreciate that joke. Matt's chuckle tells me that he might understand a little bit about Baki there.
Mhm.
But I wonder if that's kind of like his vibe or what it is because as a professional, you just kind of want to see a more put together package all around.
Yeah.
Um, this is the guy that he beat directly from seventh to
Looks a
eighth.
little silly.
What's that, brother?
It just looks a little silly.
Yeah, it does.
Like got a lampshade on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like they may have gifted him this spot as well, right? Well,
Yeah.
but don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
like it's it's kind of close, kind of, but like when you look deeper at it, like I think the left is far better than the right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially from the back here. I mean, look at the
Yeah.
leg difference here,
Yeah.
Like you can't say that's posing. That's just pure like size and kind of manhood versus early young adulthood here, like in
Yeah.
muscle density and stuff too.
And then also conditioning, because I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
glute striations versus no glute striations. That I mean, that's always a
Hmm.
telltale sign.
Without a
Give Sam
doubt.
like 5 years though, bro.
Oh
He's
yeah, yeah.
damn good.
I think he could be too. And like his influencer like kind of a vibe. Honestly, he's not like a total dive in influencer. He just trains and he films himself. And I think
Hmm.
like that's kind I don't know. Oh, Fuad actually had I just read this comment a little bit. So Fuad said he had Sam ahead of him. That his flow's a little off on the left side and conditioning was about equal. I don't know if I agree with that completely.
Conditioning from the side looks about equal.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I
You
would say
might
Sam
even
might be a little tired.
I was just about to say you might even be able to argue that, especially with the striated glute here. But that could just be
Hmm.
posing
No,
because we also know that this guy has striated glutes from his back
Rear.
double.
Yeah.
some people don't get the striations from the side even when they get them in the rear though. It's a
Really?
genetic kind of thing. Yeah. Because like he looks peeled from the front and back, but the side poses aren't nearly as peeled.
Yeah.
Yeah. His leg size is just I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to see what
Like,
Fuad's seeing here. Because I mean, look at the legs in comparison. I think Sam's lats outdo his lats though.
Hmm.
If we're talking whole package, I don't know. It's definitely a closer conversation than it was at
Yeah.
Ohio, but I kind of lean towards the guy to the left over Sam.
I agree.
There's that. And then I don't know what other do you guys know what the next show in line is after these UKs? Is
Mm,
it the next big show is probably just like Pittsburgh and New York and stuff like that?
think so.
Yes, there's not really much we don't even know who the guys like kind of leading into that show are,
Mm,
but it was a good show, man. I really enjoyed watching the kind of the turnout of Mike coming back to it. And then third place we had George Herrera, and then fourth Mamoli. So George kind of snuck in here.
hmm.
What? How did he place at Ohio? I don't remember him placing all that great at Ohio.
I don't
I
believe he
don't think
did.
he did.
He's
At least not top five.
so this he got fifth then. So he got fifth at Ohio and then improved to third. So that's a pretty good jump for him.
Yeah,
Beating
absolutely.
Mamoli and what's his name Kim. So good for him.
Hmm.
Kind of like watching these classic routines here. I'm kind of curious what he brought here.
Do we know if it was the same judges?
That's a good question. I'm not too sure. I would I would imagine so because it's the same like promotion of the Arnold sports, but that's a very good question because I wonder if that impacts especially classic judging because I feel like classic's so subjective. Which the sport itself obviously is subjective judging, but classic is just one of those divisions that's like, what do we deem classic per se? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So,
I think that's something that the casual fan really doesn't think about because
mhm.
like they want to just have the best physique win in their minds. But when you have humans judging it, you go East Coast to West Coast and you have different judges, you could get people that like different things, dude. It is what
Oh yeah.
it is.
Exactly. And especially when we're talking about exposure too, like that's kind of a good point with East Coast to West Coast. Like the diversity is going to be way different coming from an East Coast or like a Midwestern type of judge versus like a East Coast or West Coast type of judge. Or even down south, you see all kinds of different athletes and different genetics, and you tend to probably come towards a more of a preference in a way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all that ties in with our personal bodybuilding like stories and our personal preferences too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good routine by him though.
Yeah, it's a killer routine. It's good.
He's like locked into every pose. The waist never bows out. He's really solid here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for George coming in third, definitely making a better placement, beating both Kim and Mamoli. I didn't see how they looked. I know we're kind of bouncing around a little bit, but I'm kind of curious. So there's George. Here is this Mamoli over here? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yep. Mamoli looks good.
Yeah, yeah, he looks really good. I don't know. I think it might just be a size thing right now. I think
Yeah,
Momoli's just smaller than everybody on stage.
I agree. I agree. I think so too. Especially,
I wonder how close he is.
wonder what.
I wonder how close he is to his cap.
Hmm.
I I would hope not super close because I think that he's gonna need more size to be able to compete with these top guys.
Yeah.
He'll look really
Um,
good with some more size too. Like he doesn't need much, but
yeah, right. Just a little bit, and I think posing could possibly be hurting him too. Like this side chest, I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah.
Um, I think he needs to not bring this arm in as tight. Um, I don't know. It doesn't look as comfortable or as at ease as the rest of these guys here.
Mm.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting Arnold UK. Congratulations to Mike and Andrew pulling away. Um, and then I did want to touch on Hosemwa being compared to Dorian Yates of all people, but this was him. This is him in his off season, and I guess it is confirmed from Fuad that he's not looking to switch to open. So I think last cast we were maybe talking about how, or maybe through the group chat, one of the two, but we were talking about how we were thinking he might go open, but he's actually staying in classic. So I don't know how this guy makes weight. In my opinion, like this is crazy to get
Man.
this big, this like condition in an off season is absurd.
he looks damn.
Damn.
I think he came out and said that he wanted to have the best back ever, and
Mhm.
that's why people started comparing him to Dorian.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
I'm pretty sure that is true. And
That
his
is
back
hilarious.
is sick, don't get me wrong, but
Oh yeah, his back's crazy. I
Dorian,
think. Yeah, I don't know if he's quite Dorian's level, but I mean his back is nuts.
Yeah.
I'll be excited to see him on stage, Posemon on stage this year. I think he looks sick.
Yeah, because he's gonna have to. He didn't get his. Did he do a show after the Olympia to qualify?
He did.
He did. So he's qualified then.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. I don't remember if it was like Romania, but I remember he did do a show.
I think it was Romania. Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it was Romania. So yeah, he's qualified for the Olympia. I mean, dude, if he's that'll be interesting. We have so many different classic physiques that are like it just makes this so interesting to kind of watch and see like where they sway towards. Because I mean, you have potentially like one of the better, bigger, denser guys in classic with Hosemwa. You have Niall Darwin with like this waist of my wrist. You have Mike trying to squeeze into the weight cap. You have Ramon, the current champion. Um, I mean, you have Wesley. There's so many different guys. It's just such an interesting time for classic physique, man.
Hmm. No question.
And then you have Minigate, who like I don't think he's qualified, so he's gonna have to figure out where he's gonna qualify too.
It does make Classic exciting because there are just so many different shapes in that top lineup, dude. So
Hmm.
it's like, yeah, it gets exciting to see like where the judges are going to go.
Hmm.
I
Right.
think Ramon's going to have a run for his money, dude. I don't feel like Ramon's like improving that much year to year.
I was gonna
And
say the same thing, especially seeing his off season and like whenever he did that guest posing at the Arnold, like through the dark sports stuff, he didn't seem like crazy improved. He looked big, but he didn't seem like improved in these certain areas, you know?
Yeah,
he's balanced and he's got a pretty physique on him, right? But he doesn't have any type of wow factor, in my opinion.
Hmm. And I feel like, and maybe this is just my opinion, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in classic, you need some sort of wow factor
yeah,
because these guys all are just so genetically gifted in so many different fashions that like you have to have something that like pulls you aside from other people in classic, you know?
definitely.
And I feel like Ramon, like you're saying, he's so balanced. I don't think he has that wow factor. I think that you could argue his arms, but I mean, at this point, you could argue that Mike's arms are about the same. You could argue that Wesley's arms are better. Like, there's
Yeah,
so many different body parts and so many different people that make it that much more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see a direct back shot here. I think that his back has got to improve in order to retain. And I think it's got to be one of the like he's got to be more dense. That's going to be the
hmm
big thing. He's got to be more dense. And I don't see any direct. Yeah, this is like all just promotional stuff. But
yeah,
his back's got to come improved, man. If he's gonna retain. But outside of that, I don't know if we have much more like bodybuilding stuff. I think he was the best bodybuilder by both our borders.
Pittsburgh Pro's got to be like around the 1st of May, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
hmm
Let me look it up. Pittsburgh. It's gonna be usually yeah May 16th. So shoot, man, I won't be able to. I have a athlete competing that weekend. I'll just have to watch it at some point.
yeah.
5 or 6 weeks away or so.
Yeah, I guess it is fairly close. These are your winners last year of Derek, gosh darn, Aaron Banks, and then Ramon or about said Ramon Terrence Ruffin. Um, and I don't think I know Terrence is going to be out till the Olympia. I know Derek's definitely not doing it, and I don't know about Aaron. Um, because I know he competed recently, but it'll be an interesting lineup. I don't think we have anybody like fully committed outside of like just rumor mill, you know, like I know we're talking about um Michael Krizo, he was thinking about doing it. Um I forget who else really said all they were going to potentially be there, but as now that we're done with kind of the Arnold hype and all the Arnold news, we'll start to see these guys post more updates. And this is Krizo 8 weeks out with that Pittsburgh, and he'll be one of the top guys to be competing for that spot. And I think that at this, he's improving really well. If he just continues to hold that midsection, I think that he'll be a really dominant force here.
Oh yeah.
He's a large dude,
Oh
very
yeah,
large dude.
big time. Yeah, man, it's impressive. It's gonna be interesting to watch, man. The Pittsburgh Pro is gonna be a good show. You have the New York Pro shortly after that. It'll be interesting to see kind of how all these classic guys play out. But yeah, I guess that's really about it.
How's
But
your guys'? I feel like we could end on something though. Like, how's your guys' training going? Both of you guys.
yeah, Ayden, you want to go ahead first?
Yeah,
You can actually
sure.
go to your
So
page and check it out too.
yeah, I'm actually fin and most of my content's just miscellaneous stuff, but
Nothing wrong with that.
my training is going pretty well. So basically now I'm finishing up the second push in this big growth phase that I've had. It's been about 54 weeks since I started the growth phase, and it's been what about a year and a half since my last competition. So I've gained 35 pounds since then. So
Nice,
and
dude.
it's a pretty good conditioning too. So I feel pretty good about that. So everything together, um, it's going well. Thinking about possibly competing again late 2026 to early 2027. So
Mhm.
that's what it's looking like right now.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. You can see the improvements, man, just from that one little reel here that you posted. I mean, pretty good, man. And conditioning
Thanks,
is
man.
holding up
Thank
really
you.
well.
Thank you.
That's 30 solid as I don't know who said it. I know I've heard it somewhere, but that's 30 solid ass
Solid
pounds.
ass
Yeah,
pounds.
solid ass pounds, man.
How much do you weigh right now, Aiden?
I am 176 pounds as of this morning. On average, it's like a 177. That was my last check-in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Heck yeah.
And you said you're aiming towards
Yeah.
the end of 2027, right?
Yeah, end of 2026 to early slash mid 2027 to pick because I'll
Okay.
be starting grad school in August, so I guess it depends on how stress levels are looking.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that too. That's exciting.
Thank you, thank you.
Due early 2027, prepping through Thanksgiving sucks.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. And Christmas. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if you do it, Aiden, we can do it together though, because I'm doing that show in March next year. So
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
we'll both hate our lives together
Hey,
through
and
Christmas and family.
I might be switching to Peak soon because I'm northern Indianapolis, so
Okay.
I may actually be at Peak pretty soon because I love AMF, but
Yeah.
man, I can't keep driving 40 minutes with work and everything. Like it's
Yeah.
starting to,
I
It's
yeah,
don't
starting to hit you a little bit.
yeah.
like it would be one thing if Peak wasn't there because AMF does have equipment that you're not going to find like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
around especially in the quantity because
Oh
it
yeah.
does have a fair bit. But when
Mm-hmm.
you do have a gym like Peak that is that close, like I mean, it's hard to ask for much more,
Oh
right?
my gosh, yeah. Like
Yeah.
there's little things that you could look for. Like I love the Strive press, but like that's not, one machine is not enough
To
to
keep you in,
warrant a
right?
40-minute drive.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I
Yeah.
totally understand that.
Isaiah, how's your training been going? You just finished your push, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. So I got the green light today. So this will be the last week of the push for myself.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna do one more week. We're at 203 right now. This is my most recent check-in. But we're gonna go ahead and shut down the push here after this week, and then we're gonna start the kind of like the it's. I'm gonna treat it like a prep. Like I'm gonna do all my morning cardio. I'm gonna do everything that I need to do in a prep scenario for the wedding, and then after the wedding, we're gonna go back into a growth phase and try to pack on some more size here because to be able to be competitive at my next show, I'm gonna have to have more size, just point blank and simple, especially in my
Mm-hmm.
upper body. And I don't know, I mean, maybe I'm just really critical about myself here, but I feel like my back has regressed, and I it's kind of odd because I feel like everything else has came up a little bit, like my arms came up a little bit, my even my legs came up a little bit, but I feel like my back has regressed. You guys give me your cold, honest opinions. Like, do you agree or no?
No. I
Matt,
I don't think I agree. And like for
it's okay to tell me like yeah, you're back, like maybe you need to switch up your training style because I have been going heavier. I've been training with more of like a old school approach in a way of some things, but I don't know. It doesn't give me like that wow and like that crazy like oh wow, like I'm actually proud of that back. Like I haven't been
Mhm.
feeling like that recently. So
It's of my opinion that you're just in the off season where you're a little bit softer and
okay.
the waist is a little bit thicker. So
Yep.
like it doesn't have as much.
A lot of it thicker.
You're still very solid conditioning for an
I appreciate it. I gotta tease myself a little
you don't
bit.
have the detail it's popping as much, and it's the same thing. Like, and I feel like all weak body parts are all body parts that feel like we need to be improved upon in the off season.
Yeah.
Like I feel like my legs look even freaking smaller in the off season when my waist gets a little bit bigger and they start hitting
Hmm.
lines. And I think
Mhm.
that's more so what's going on with you more than anything, bro. Like
Yeah.
I think you still look solid.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And like I don't think you'd need to change training style or anything right now because like it looks like you've made tremendous improvements. So I'd say like keep running with it. I think your back looks good, and I think Matt's right about the off season. That's kind of the same thing for me. Like I wanted to bring up my back, and then I'll look at my back and I'll be like, dude, like what the hell is this? Like,
That's how I've been feeling lately, man. Because like I've been doing like these post like photos for after the workout. I'm like, oh man, like I feel the pump. Like I know it's about to be crazy. I'll hit the back double. I'll go look at my phone. I'm like, what is this soft, watery bullshit that I'm looking at right now? I was like, what the hell, man?
no, I
This.
feel you on that.
But Matt, how about you, brother? You're now like a whole month removed of like all recovery things, aren't you? Like just about.
Hmm.
So I'm God, how many? So I'll be 8 weeks. Yeah, I'll be 8 weeks removed
From the actual
from
surgery, right?
actual surgery this week,
Okay.
and I was back walking on the treadmill very slowly 2 weeks after,
Hmm.
and then I was back in the gym. I couldn't do much for legs the first 2 weeks, but 3 weeks after. So like, yeah, I would say around that 4 week past mark, I started being able to do a lot of things relatively normally. And then at the 6 week mark, so like 2 weeks ago, I feel like I was pretty much, except for like minor pains here and there.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like I have like a little bit of numbness around the incision still, and like maybe like a little bit of discomfort if I move just wrong, but otherwise
Yeah.
I'm all fine. I'm starting to hit PRs again
Let's say
on
it
a
looks like
lot.
you're training pretty heavy here, so I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, dude. So I RDL 245 Friday, which is solid for me. We started to push this past week actually.
Nice.
So
Also,
I'm
you're green light pushing now.
yeah, thank God, dude. Oh my
You
gosh,
said, yeah, thank God.
it was 14. So it was 14 weeks that I was like basically health phase, kind of cruising because of you want to have some downtime after a show, and then the
Hmm.
surgery elongated a little bit, and
Yeah.
then wanted to get like a couple of weeks of solid, actual 100% solid training in before we started.
Yeah.
So like, and it's like you're making a little bit of progress, but you could just be doing so much more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited to actually be back and be lifting a little bit of heavier weight. That stupid squat. It's going to be more tomorrow, but
I will
other than
say,
that, yeah,
I was just about
excited.
to say, I just want to compliment like everything in this video is insanely perfect form, dude. Like it
Yeah.
is like incredible. It's honestly like super pleasing, and like as we're all like obviously bodybuilders here, but even like if you're just an average lifter that like enjoys training like this, you have to do nothing but appreciate this form, this time and retention, and the intensity that comes with it because this is pretty remarkable stuff, man.
Hmm.
So that's
I
awesome.
appreciate it. If I don't like, I have to be like full on autism mode when I'm training legs, or else like I
He said
lose the
full.
connection. It's why my legs are so. It's why I have to be so locked in, or
Yeah.
else I just feel pain in my knees and no contraction anywhere.
Right, right. I love that. That's a full-on autism mode to lock in. I love it though. We've all been there though, dude. Like I know that I lock in, especially like after the first couple of weeks in my back, like I felt like I've been feeling like this back thing for a little while. So like I've been really like super honed in on the back, like, all right, man, like I gotta make sure I'm actually feeling it. I'm not just pushing weight. But
Mhm.
yeah, man, like every little bit of this is just great form and crazy contraction, brother.
Hmm.
Yeah, so hopefully I mean the main goal is to bring up the legs. Obviously there's other areas in my upper body that can be a little bit better too, and improve, but if we can get the legs to match the upper body, I think we'll have a very solid chance of being able to turn pro.
Without a doubt. Without a
Hmm.
doubt. And your upper body, like I've said, I've always admired like the upper body proportions for what they are. Like they are dense, they are really good, really big. And I think that the legs, once they're coming up, and they already are, I mean, in my opinion, like they came up in the last since the prep to now, like they're definitely they have some fullness to them. They're big, and as you continue to push more, man, it's just going to get freakier and freakier. So it's just going to get
Hmm.
better and better, brother.
They they lose a little bit to get into that really good condition, and when
Mhm.
they already like need to be a little bit more developed, and then you lose a little bit more of the pop, it makes it very noticeable. I think that 6 weeks out, my legs are relatively decent, and then after that, it's like yeah, they start getting a little bit then. So
Hmm.
they
Gotcha.
need to be really really big, so then they don't come down like at all. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, that's the name of the game, man. We're all just trying to get bigger and better. I mean, that's just that's the name of the game that we keep on pushing. So, one of these days, you and I, like I said, you and I are gonna go through a leg day, and then you can throw me through some arms, brother. I think what I'd like to do though is honestly get like everybody from the cast, and even if you're gonna get a membership there, I mean, that makes it a lot easier too. So,
Hmm.
um, that'd be fun. I think it'd be a fun
Yeah.
little
I'm
concept.
literally only 15 minutes away from peak. Yeah.
Oh, you got to switch, man. It ain't
Yeah.
like a 40-minute drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, boys. Well, if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Go follow our gentlemen here in Ayden and Matt. And obviously follow the Keep Working podcast page for more clips, advice, coaching, and more. Ayden's got coaching, Matt's got coaching, I do as well. So you can go with any three of us if you like any of our philosophies and our thoughts on it. And again, as always, just keep working, y'all. We all have our own battles, our own kind of different struggles that we're all going through. So if we can just continue to put positivity out there, you might change somebody's day and somebody's life. So just continue to do so, man.
I like that. That was a good way to end.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
I think I might try starting that. We'll see.
Yeah,
I feel like sending a positive message out there, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll start
Awesome.
the week.
Exactly.
Build the connection.
Most definitely, boys. All right. Thank you guys so much for hopping on, and have a good rest of your week, man.
Yep. Have a good one, fellas.
Gentlemen.
Yep. See you, boys.